Hey everyone, my name is Wedge. If you woke up this morning and saw everything that's gone on this weekend, you may be a little confused. Yeah, me too. A ton of Oath of the Gatewatch was leaked late last night. While this is a spoiler video, keep in mind that we only talk about confirmed, officially spoiled cards. Not leaks, never leaks. Now, don't worry, that doesn't mean the weekend was a complete waste. The World Magic Cup showed us a couple sweet new cards, confirmed a few leaks of old, gave us a new color of mana, and, expeditions. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this spoiler video, and if you do, remember to hit that like button. Helps out a lot. Alright, let's dive right in. Magic decided to print a new color of mana. I know, the train is already off the rails. Take a look at Wastes. This is a basic land that you can tap to add one colorless mana to your mana pool. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Wedge, we've been doing that forever. No, we've been adding generic mana. Generic means you can pay literally any kind of mana and it counts towards generic mana. It's what we've called colorless mana up to this point. Now, Waste produces real colorless mana. Let me give you an example. Sol Ring, we've seen it before, always added 2 colorless mana. The thing is, we've never had to differentiate between colorless and generic before. Well, now that colorless has its own symbol, this is what Sol Ring will look like from now on. I know it can be a bit confusing, but look at it this way. Colorless is basically a 6th color in Magic. All colorless mana is generic mana, as in you can use it to pay for what we're used to calling colorless costs, but all generic mana isn't colorless. It's any color or no color. I know it's confusing. If you have any questions about the specifics, ask below. With that said, here's a rapid fire to help you out a bit. Waste is a basic land, which means you can have any amount in your deck. It also doesn't have a basic land subtype, which means you can't use it with Domain or Converge. As far as Commander is concerned, colorless will remain colorless. No color identity whatsoever, so you can use any card with the symbol on it in any deck you want. It's easy peasy. Okay, now if you have any other questions, you can ask below. Why did we start by rambling on about a new land type? It's simple, I wanted to show you this. Kozilek, the Great Distortion, is 8 generic and 2 colorless mana for a 12/12 legendary creature Eldrazi with Menace. When you cast Kozilek, if you have fewer than 7 cards in hand, draw cards equal to the difference. You can also discard a card with converted mana cost X to counter target spell with converted mana cost X. Okay. So we're getting a bit more intense than our friend Ulamog. He casts for 10, but is a little more difficult to cast than Ulamog because you need 2 colorless specific mana. In my opinion, totally worth it. Look at those abilities. You get a fresh new hand when you cast it, which you'll probably need since you most likely used all your resources to get to 10 mana, so that's a sweet instant benefit. His counter ability may seem kind of weird, but there are 2 things you need to remember. First, you just drew an entire hand of potentially free counter spells since there is legit no cost to use this ability besides the discard. It's incredibly important. Beyond that, it's like having a disrupting shoal just all game long without any color restriction. Tell me that isn't awesome. Menace may seem weird on Kozilek and Eldrazi in general, but let's be real, they are the most menacing creatures in existence. From a flavor standpoint, I'll take it 100%. Anyways, to wrap up thoughts on Kozilek, he's a gigantic monster with a hand replacement effect, evasion, and protection for you and your board. I love him. It makes sense they had to make him more difficult to cast than Ulamog. Just respect. Kozilek is brutal. Sign me up. Moving right along, the World Magic Cup also brought us a new mechanic from the upcoming set. Crush of Tentacles is 4 generic and 2 blue for a sorcery with Surge costing 3 generic and 2 blue. You may cast this spell for its surge cost if you or a teammate has cast another spell this turn. Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands. If Crush of Tentacles' surge cost was paid, put an 8/8 octopus creature token onto the battlefield. Sweet! Surge is so sick! This is the first set in a long time to mention teammates. Wizards did say that this pre-release was going to be great for Two-Headed Giant. This is what they must have meant. Best part, you don't need a teammate to make this ability good. Play something small on your turn, or this is good. Play something with Rebound. Next upkeep, you get a free trigger. In its own right, Crush of Tentacles is kind of insane. 5 mana with the trigger to upheaval non-land permanents, then you get a giant octopus? I mean, yes, right? Like, this is great. The last 2 cards we were officially shown are 2 of the upcoming expeditions from Oath. Remember, there are 45 expeditions in total, and Battle for Zendikar brought us our first 25. The remaining 20 aren't here. A ton of speculation surrounded which cycles were going to be printed. Yeah, no multiple cycles this time. Ancient Tomb and Forbidden Orchard are confirmed expedition reprints. Both cards are around $10. Both cards see Eternal play, Orchard in some Vintage Oath strategies, and Ancient Tomb in both Legacy and Vintage in a ton of decks. Now remember, being printed as an expedition doesn't change which formats a card is legal in. While you can open these in drafts, Ancient Tomb is still only legal in Legacy and Vintage, not Modern or Standard. One last thing, check out the new format on Ancient Tomb. Already that new colorless symbol's taken over. Regardless of how you feel about these two cards being chosen, or in other words, from the Vault Realms Expeditions Edition, you have to admit they're beautiful. Look at the colors in that Forbidden Orchard. I can't imagine how amazing that's going to look in foil. And that Ancient Tomb, oh, it's so sweet. The contrast in color is fantastic. I'm a huge fan of these cards, and I know foil Ancient Tombs are about to be, what, $300? You know how much Vintage players will pay for pimped versions of their cards? Oh boy, this is going to be fun. Keep in mind again that we do not cover leaked cards. There were plenty of them, and don't worry, we will talk about them when they're officially released. I have a lot to say, I promise. Just sit tight until then, and we'll bring you everything you need to know. Let me know in the comments what you think about the new color. You like, you don't like? What about Kozilek? What about the Expeditions? What about Surge? Talk to me, people. Just talk to me. As always, subscribe for the latest and most reliable Oath of the Gatewatch spoiler information you could ever need. This is the Manosaurus. I'm Wedge. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.